So things are growing at a rapid pace. I find that when we take our foot off the gas and we let others show up in front of us and ask us for things, it actually propels us faster.
Yes, definitely. It's it's funny how you say about taking foot off the gas or getting involved in stuff. Finding the time to listen to the podcast is one thing, but I follow a lot of live streamers and trying to get on everybody's stream and support them as well, and do our stuff. Some days there's not enough hours in the day sometimes.
Yeah, I know, right? It's such a great topic to be able to talk about presenting and showing people how we do things. And being a content creator or being content creators, we get to look at other people's stuff. And we get to help them with it. And then we get to do our own. I love that we're going to be able to do a little show and tell today. I know you like to get right into the topic without the introduction, so I thought we'll do that. We'll do introductions in a little bit. Oh, I can read your mind, baby. I know what you want to do. I may look just like another pretty face, but that is not what I am.
Isn't that a song by Gordon Lightfoot? If you could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts would tell.
Copyright,
Gordon.
Yes, thank you for that song and dance, because you get edutainment here with BU Network Facebook Lives. Gosh, what is this thing called here?
It's a mouthful sometimes, doesn't it?
This is BU Facebook Live. Here we are.
Oh, good morning to everybody. Little chai latte this morning.
Oh, and I have a little gratitude in a cup, a little rooibos, rooibos tea.
Oat milk.
That's my. Oh, you know what?
It's because I don't do dairy. So
if you want to, let me tell you about this before we get started. We did a whole thingamajig on oat milk versus almond milk. And we cut out sugar recently, right? Since February 24th, I dropped 11 porker pounds. We cut out sugar, white flour, carbs, dairy.
Right.
I thought oat milk was awesome. And then I looked at the sugar content. You know why it tastes so good?
Sugar.
Right up there.
Yeah.
So check it out. So we bought cashew milk because it had the least, doesn't froth, doesn't do any of those fancy things that almond milk even does. Yeah. It had the least amount. So let me tell you, these little, you don't have to lose any weight, so you're fine.
That's a point for debate. But
well, let me tell you, 11 pounds down, 4 more to go. When I'm down 15 pounds, then I'm going to stand up and rejoice, because until then, ha. It's just been such a great ride. So thank you for sharing that you're drinking oat milk. And thank you for sharing a piece of you, a real piece of you. Because in our Facebook Lives, what's really important is that you get to know who we are. We're going to talk to you about great topics and subjects because our clients are asking us to do that. And we want you. We want you to get to know who we are and how we think and how we work and how we respond and act. Because you know what they say, you do business with those that you know, like, and trust. So if you get to know us, and to know us is to love us, we're the same.
Hopefully.
In and out.
So why don't we dive into our topic of how to create a great slide deck.
Or preparing to fail.
Depending on your perspective. Why don't you jump in first? Because I know there's a particular point that you really like a lot.
I do. I really, really do. Okay, so I'll go over a couple of, give me another quick moment.
Just pull up your bullet points.
Yeah, let me pull it up. I want to talk about I like them all, really. I don't know. I'm going to start here.
So pick one and go.
Yes. Yeah. Turn off the computer. Now, this seems a little counterintuitive to presenting and creating your presentation. It's like saying, sit down, have dinner, and turn off the phone. Like, really? You mean I can't text to somebody else while I'm sitting across my family? Turn off the computer. So most people want to create an outline, and you think about how you're going to do it. And you might be the type of person that needs to have your fingers on the keyboard. I get that, but don't do this. Preparation should be an analog beginning. Analog. Just think about your hands, anchoring your mind. Think about getting that information out. Turn off technology. Minimize the distractions.
Yes.
Sit where you want. Your computer can be in the room, but turn it off. Minimize the distractions. That's everything. If you've got an idea, want to get it out of your head, I like to say, put it on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how you're going to do that. I put it on the wall with my mapping technique.
Yes. Multicolored, also known as multicolored written devices.
Sticky notes.
Sticky notes.
I am a sticky note diva. This is how my messages come out. This is where they come out of my head and then they go somewhere else. So I would say turn off that electronic, turn off the distractions, get it out of your head, think analog, get the details out. Think about that big picture. Don't focus on the little things. Think big. Think big.
I like that. I like it a lot. So the next thing goes right in with what you were just saying. And that is and I'm typing it in as I speak, put your audience first. And when we turn off the computer, or at least don't try to make a slide deck right from the very first thing, we can put our focus on our audience. What is the message that our audience wants to hear? What is our audience, our clients, what are they telling us that they want to get from us? What information they want, what knowledge they need to help them be better in their life? And so when we start to put our audience first, we start to create the presentation or the speech first in our mind, then on sticky notes, and put them up on the wall. And the reason that both Rara and I love the sticky note approach is that you put one idea per sticky note and you just put them all up on the wall or in a book or on a desk or whatever surface you want to do it. And then you can start to move them around to say, okay, this idea goes better with this idea over here, so that the audience, so I don't miss the information that my audience wants to receive from us. And so when we start to put that perspective to it, we'll come to a place where we'll have the presentation created. Then we can start to go about looking for how to put a slide, maybe the transitions, and putting all the fancy stuff in the presentation into the slide deck.
Awesome. Thank you. Great points. Thinking about the bridge, which is how my mind thinks, think about, have a solid structure. Okay. Have a solid structure. When you're telling a story, the structure can be very, very simple. You need it to be there so that you can build your narrative. When you hear people and they're just like all over the place with their story and you're thinking, where are they going? And I can't follow them. The story needs architectural structure, and then it's completely forgotten, like once you see the movie, but it needs to make sense. Most presentations will not follow a classic story structure, but there are many narrative structures, such as explanatory narratives. I have trouble with English today. A slice of life, and so on. Okay, I'm not going to say much more about that based on the fact that my tongue and my mouth are not engaging properly. You get the point.
Yeah, that's okay. Go for it. That's part of being live, right?
Oh, gosh.
We have these mess ups, and we got to roll. We got to roll with the punches. Go with the
It's
flow,
like
right?
my mind is going faster than my mouth. Okay, so I want to talk to you about, for a live talk, your aim. I'll give you an example. For a live talk, your aim could not be for the audience to remember each point, but rather one or 2 points that would stick out with each person. So think about that. You're going to tell a story and you want 2 points to stand out. We really cannot listen and remember the entire story. As you're telling your life, you're telling your story, as you're going through the journey, it's hard. It's hard to follow. Like, you may know it, it's your life, you're thinking about it, you've lived it. Your presentation is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's an hour. Think about pulling out 2 points and making them your highlight.
That's awesome. So it goes in, with having that having that structure and having a clear theme. really works well together to bring the whole presentation together so that we present the information in a way that people it can be mentally digestible. I love that. I use that term all the time. Mentally digestible for people. And shout out to the Dark Lord for that. Mark Swerdlick, thank you for in darkening us that way, in darkening me that way. The ability to make something mentally digestible so that somebody can take the information in, process it, and maybe shift their behavior or shift their thinking, shift their perspective based on the information that's coming in. So by creating this theme and an organization in your presentation, you're going to be able to help the person more easily connect with your message and what they want to take away from it. Because we can think what we want them to take away with it, but everybody comes in with their own stories, their own background, their own agenda, and they're going to take bits and pieces from your presentation that apply to them. So when we can remove, and this goes back to one of my favorite presenter people, Gar Reynolds, the Zen in the Art of Presentation. Presentations, I think I can get it right. Both of us fumbling today. Presentation Zen by Gar Reynolds. He talks about removing the essential. So this applies not only to the slide deck and removing non-essential elements, but also what you're going to say. Take away parts of the presentation that are only sort of peripherally or sort of off on the side connected to your presentation. Try and stick to the main theme and the sub-themes there rather than going off way off on a tangent and losing your audience completely.
Thank you for that. Hook 'em early, hook 'em early. The fantastic filmmaker Billy Wilder said, we must grab them by the throat and never let them go. We've got to hook our audience early. Do not waste time at the beginning with formalities or filler talk. Start with a bang, get their attention, and then sustain that interest with variety and unexpectedness built upon structure that is taking them someplace. Don't take them nowhere. Audiences usually remember the beginning and the end the most. Don't waste those important opening minutes. Too many presenters and writers, for that matter, get bogged down in backstories on details about minor or even completely irrelevant points at the beginning. Think about all the fillers that you say in the beginning. Cut that stuff out. So if it's irrelevant in the beginning, get rid of it. Why? Because the momentum is going to die quickly as an audience remembers. Oh my gosh, scratching their head in the confusion or the boredom. When you start something, if you think you're going to trip up, practice, and perfect practice so that your opening 10 seconds don't bore people and don't lose them, because you might have a really good message. If you want to work on that, you want to feel what that's like, see what it's like, go record yourself, sit in front of the computer, hit record, go on your phone, hit record. If you don't like what you said, no one else is either.
That is correct. So I'm going to take a page right out of our own playbook here, and I'm going to jump ahead.
Love it.
From number 5 to number 9.
Look at you. Actually, we're going to go from 7 to 9?
No, we're at 5, hook 'em early, and then jumping into do the unexpected.
Okay.
So what does that exactly mean? Well, if we continue along the way the audience can sort of have a feel for the flow of where we're going, and they can sometimes tune out. They might decide to check their phones or have a conversation with the person beside them. But if you suddenly do the unexpected, then there all of a sudden attention is going to come right back to you. So what we're going to do right here is I'm actually going to share my screen, and I'm going to share with you about how you can present information in several different ways in order to make it more mentally digestible, and so people can take it in and make it more visually interesting. So I'm going to just go solo the screen over here. So imagine that we wanted to compare the speed of Usain Bolt, 100 meter and 200 meter runner, considered the fastest man alive, versus how fast a horse could run versus how fast a cheetah could run. This chart is one way that we could show it. And in the pink, we have Usain Bolt, 27.8 miles per hour, the horse in yellow, 55 miles per hour, and the cheetah in green at 75 miles per hour. So that shows one way to do it. Is it interesting? You decide. Personally, I think it's boring and I have no real context for it. So let's look at another way that we could present the information. Another way would be to throw up 3 pictures, one of Usain Bolt, one of a cheetah, and one of a horse, and talk about how fast each one could run. That's a little bit more interesting. What you'll notice here is there's some white space, some what we call negative space when we're designing, and that's cool because it gives the information isn't so intense and it's a little bit easier for our brain to take it in. Now, what most of us do when we put these pictures up on a slide is because the pictures have backgrounds, we try to get the pictures lined up so that they're not covering each other. It's okay if a picture covers another picture, like a collage. So that's one way to do it. And this is a little bit more interesting to me than showing a graph. The next way, you could show each picture individually with the background with the speed that that animal runs at. And yes, humans are animals, in case you were wondering. So a cheetah can run 75 miles per hour. Great. And for Canadians and anybody else using metric, that's 120 kilometers an hour. A horse, 55 miles an hour or 88 kilometers an hour. And again, we're using pictures that are interesting that suggest movement as well. So we're also speaking to people's emotions at the same time. And then we have Usain Bolt, 27.8 miles per hour. Now, I'm wondering, Rara, did you notice that as I went along, the size and color of the text changed as I went along?
I did. I really like that.
And again, that's another way of drawing attention to what you want people to look at and remember about your presentation. So we've got these 3 things. Now, in my opinion, the most interesting way, or one of the most interesting ways you could show this information so we could take it all in at once and do it in one slide would be to do this. And show all of them relative to each other. So you'll notice now, not only does the text change in color and size, but the picture changes in color and size, as well as their relative position on the slide in order to demonstrate how the speed of one relative to the other. So this is one of the things we can do. These are the different levels you can start to work at when you're creating a slide deck, is making it as meaningful and impactful as you can with the least amount of effort for the audience to take it in. Not the least amount of effort for you. It takes more effort to create a slide like this because you have to learn how to take away the background from the cheetah, and I'm going to talk about that later on. But that's a very simple way to do it. Now, the last thing that I want people to get from this is you do not want to do this. Especially when you're giving a presentation to English-speaking audiences or Latin-based or Cyrillic-based alphabets, because we all process information left to right. This is going right to left. It's going in the wrong direction. Our brains don't process it the same way, and there's going to be a disconnect. People are going to turn off. They're going to, there's something inside them is going to say, that doesn't look right to me, and they're going to not take in the information as easily. So remember, left movement needs to go left to right, not right to left.
Love that. Thank you. Alrighty, I am going to send you a little note there. Let's talk about show a clear conflict. I love that. By the way, I don't want to talk about what you just talked about because I don't want to dilute that message, but I do love it. So let's talk about show a clear conflict. No conflict, no story. Not every presentation topic is about a problem that needs to be dealt with, but many are. And as we certainly improve most any talk by being mindful of what is at stake and what the obstacles are to overcome. I'll give you an example. Here's a definition from Storybook, Story Proof. The science behind the startling power of story. A character-based narration of a character's struggles to overcome obstacles and reach an important goal. This is based off the old protagonist complication resolution story structure. It may not apply directly to every kind of talk that you give, but many examples that we give or experience that we share to illustrate a point that will be about a problem that we need to deal with or a problem that's needed to be dealt with, making things very clear and engaging and memorable by illustrating the struggle. So if you're going to talk about your supplement, if you're going to talk about your face cream, if you're going to talk about your service, make it very clear by illustrating the struggle. We could call it a pain point, if you will.
Very good. Very good. I like it. Hi, Jay. Thanks for your comment. Yes, it's the direction that the images get displayed in is very important. Our mind will process them usually on a non-conscious level. And if there's a disconnect between the way that we typically or normally would process the information and the way that it's presented, it's going to be that creates that disconnect in our brain, and we're going to check out, or we're going to find something wrong with it, and we're not going to be able to take the information in because our brain is kind of wondering, well, why is this not right? So here's another example. When you're talking in front of the room, this is, and Rara loves when I do this one. When you're talking in front of the room, the right side of the stage for the person speaking, is the left side of the stage for the audience. So when we are to demonstrate what we just did with the direction of the images, we want to do the same thing when we're at the front of the room. When we want to indicate the past, when we're standing on stage facing the audience, we want to go to our right and then sweep our hands across to the future to the left. Because for the audience, that will be from left to right, and it will be in line with their timeline. And they'll be able to take the information in. So if you go over to the left side of the stage and start talking about stuff in the past, or the left side of the presentation area, and then you come over to the right side of the stage and start talking about stuff that's in the future, it disconnects the message for the audience, because they want to go past from their left to the future to their right, not your left and right. So that's why the direction is so, so important.
Would you like me to talk about number 8, demonstrate a clear change?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Affecting a change is a necessary condition of an effective speech. A presentation that doesn't seek to make a change is really a waste of time and a waste of energy. Who says that besides us? Business guru Seth Godin. Presentations and talks are usually a mixture of information, inspiration, and motivation. Hopefully, right? Anytime we get on stage to speak, we're talking about change. You can think of change in 2 ways. Pause so you can think about that. First, the content of every good presentation or a story addresses a change of some kind. I'm going to say that again. The content of every good presentation or story addresses a change of some kind. Second, an effective presentation or a story told well will create a change in the audience. Sometimes this can be a big change. Sometimes it can be quite small. Too often, though, the only change the presenter creates in the audience is the change from wakefulness to sleep. We don't realize that we're putting that audience to sleep because, again, this information is in our head. We know it. We might be excited by it. It might have changed our life. having changed our life, we know how important it is to us, but conveying that message, and but negates everything, right? Conveying that message to our audience is different than you knowing what that story is. Telling a story and knowing a story are two different things. Do you ever read a story to a child? Do you ever just read it? And then did you read it? Think about your audience.
I love that reading the story idea. I remember giving a speech at a Toastmasters meeting, and my niece, so this would be about, she would have been, she's going to be 11, so she would have been 6 or 7, and she had gotten a book at a birthday party. And basically, when you read the book, the person reading the book has to do all of the actions and voices and everything that the story tells you to do. So I actually did this as a speech in part of the storytelling path in Toastmasters, and it was hilarious because I actually had to do all the funny voices, and it didn't matter if I was comfortable with it or not. I had to do them all. So it's really a lot of fun. I want to jump backwards a little bit, so I'm doing the unexpected again, to what I only briefly mentioned about remove the non-essential. You know, as a presenter, we think that all of our information is gold and that all of it is essential for our audience to hear. The challenge is we're not responsible for getting somebody from A to Z or A to Z right away. Sometimes a conversation or a presentation may only move somebody from A to B or maybe to C. It's not often that we get somebody going all the way to the end based on one presentation, especially one 20-minute or 40-minute or 60-minute presentation. So we want to remove anything that is not essential, not only in the slides, but in our talk as well. There's a great story by the legendary writer Anton Chekhov. And he says, remove anything or everything that has no relevance to your story or to your presentation. For example, in a book, if you say in the first chapter that there's a rifle hanging on the wall, in the second or third chapter, it absolutely must go off. If it is not going to be fired, it shouldn't be hanging there. So in other words, if you're not going to come back to something that you alluded to earlier, don't allude to it in the first place. Make sure you cover it later on, because the audience is going to be left hanging saying, hey, you said you were going to cover that, and now we're over here and you haven't yet gone back to cover that. And so again, there'll be a disconnect and you'll lose some credibility in the eyes of your audience, whether it's conscious or on a non-conscious level for them. Rara, anything to add there?
Turn mic on. When you're presenting, know if you're muted or not. No, thank you so much. I don't want to go back on that. I appreciate you talking about it. I would like to let Alexa speak and remind me. Meditate. Be authentic. Let me just go to that. Let me just be authentic. It's time for everybody to
meditate.
Everyone, let's meditate. Let's be authentic. This is what happens every single week at 11:30.
Okay, I feel better.
All right, yeah, just knowing we have to do it. I'm going to skip around. Dr. Energy.
Go for it.
All right, I'm being authentic right now. This is my life. This is what happens. This is what I'm reminded to do. So in a live presentation, be vulnerable. Be willing to take a risk. And being vulnerable is a condition for authenticity. Don't worry about being perfect. Vulnerability is what makes us human. I couldn't engage my mouth with my brain before. We both had that happen. That's authentic. It's what happens some days. My mind is thinking about what is the order? What are we doing? We're producing it. We're editing it. We're creating the content. My mind is thinking about so many things. And we are, I don't want to talk about how multitasking is not effective. So I won't say we're multitasking, but we're producing this for you right now. As we produce this for you, we are authentic. We are checking our messages. We're checking our notes. So I want to talk about this right off the cuff from real life situation. I purposely don't turn Alexa off. And I don't turn her on. That's what she's programmed for. That's my life. As a presenter right now, we're doing a live. That's what it is. If that makes me vulnerable, awesome. Putting on my mic, turning it off, forgetting to unmute it, that's fine. It's not killing my presentation. It's who I am. As long as I know I can put the button on and take a deep breath and not fumble or apologize, because actually the audience doesn't really know if I was supposed to take a breath or not. I could have just let Dr. Energy sit there with his question like, yeah, no, I thought about it. No, thanks. I don't really have anything else to add. That was amazing. And that could have been my answer, right? So I wanted to show you.
That's like improv in comedy, right? And you're supposed to, when it's called blocking, right? Is if you just like flatly don't answer or say no, all of a sudden, boom, the scene ends and you have to find a way to segue out of it. So, in improv is this, is supposed, the correct thing is yes and, right? You take whatever the person else presented for you before and then you move it forward.
And if I were to say, well, that's great, I don't have anything else to add to that, and that gives me a segue right into, that's fine. Because as I'm looking for the button on my mic, which I know it's there, and this happens when you're authentic, when you're doing something live, let people know it could happen to you too. Perhaps we're more skilled at speaking authenticity. This happened the other day. Look at the camera. I'm looking at you. Now I'm not looking at you. Now I am looking at you. So
Are you looking at me?
Yeah, I'm watching you. So how I see you is really not important. What's important is how you see me. Do you feel that I am being authentic and vulnerable and making a connection with you? And in order for me to do that, it has nothing to do with how I look. Wardrobe malfunction, necklace crooked, it doesn't matter. I'm here presenting to you. I want to speak to you eye to eye, zoom eye to zoom eye, and make sure that you know that you matter to me at this moment and after. Be authentic.
Awesome. See, I left you hanging there for a second.
Yeah, I'm Sicilian from New York, just like you're a Sicilian from Toronto. You can leave me hanging. I love it.
It's okay. So there's a few questions that often come up in relation to our slide decks that people ask us or that you can research online, and I'd like to, if it's okay, I'd like to cover a couple of those. I think that they're important to cover when we're talking about how to make a great slide deck. Because one of the questions is, and we've covered already, about how I can make my slides more interesting. And we covered that about how to put together a slide and how to think about it a little bit more. And if you want more on that, go check out Gar Reynolds, presentationzen.com, or check out Nancy Duarte. We'll drop some links in there. Oh, there you go. Rara's got her book. Mine's on the shelf back there somewhere. That's the second edition?
Yes, second edition.
And there's actually a third edition now. And then there's also presentation, what's the other one called? Design Zen, I believe is the other book called. So it goes deeper into actually how to design slides in case you're not a design or marketing guru that knows all the tips and tricks of composition and colors and all that kind of thing.
There's also the naked presenter you didn't cover, but I don't know if you didn't want to talk about the naked presenter.
Well, the naked presenter is great. That's about, you want to think about your presentation what would happen if you didn't have a slide deck? Could you still give the presentation and get your point across? And similarly, without you, your slide deck makes no sense. If somebody else was to take your slide deck without having heard your presentation or speech, they would not necessarily know exactly what it is about, because your slide deck needs to fit the presentation you're giving. You don't want stock. You don't want to have all that text on the screen, and we'll talk about that again in a moment as well. So so we covered a little bit about making the slides more interesting. The next question I wanted to talk about is again, tongue twisting today, one of those days. How long should a slide deck be? In other words, how many slides should I have in my deck? Catherine, do you have an answer?
Sure. First, I would like to look at how many minutes are you speaking for? So if you're going to speak for 5 minutes, would you take 2 to 3 minutes a slide? And if you took 2 to 3, we speak at about 150 words a minute. Do you want to pause? Do you want to have your audience have the opportunity to have an easily digestible presentation. So if you take 2 to 3 minutes a slide and you have 5 slides, that's a 15-minute presentation, ladies and gentlemen. So think about how many slides you have and how long you're going to speak about that, and allow your slides to be a prompt, not a note, not an Evernote or a keep note. Allow your slides not to be your notes. You don't even want to look at them.
Excellent. And so I have a slightly different answer. Is you should have as many slides in your deck as it takes to get the points across that you want to get across without being distracting to your audience. Now, that's going to sound like a political doublespeak answer. However, it's not. There are actually presentation competitions they have, and the name is escaping me at the moment. It's a Japanese name. And literally the challenge is to do a 2-minute speech and use as many slides as possible to get your point across.
That requires a different skill set than using slides. So we'll put that
Exactly.
more as an advanced technique.
So it's definitely more advanced technique. So the point is you want to use as many slides as is necessary to get your point across. Now we're talking a little bit about Zen and meditation and removing the non-essential from your slides. So in this case, I would use fewer slides, especially starting out. It's easier, it takes the pressure off, and you can focus more on your presentation rather than having to fumble using a thing to advance, a remote to advance your slides and worrying about whether that's all going well or not. Am I on the right slide? All of that stuff. So start with fewer slides and work your way up.
I could imagine using slides to do a time-lapse presentation. I can imagine using 20 slides and saying, check this out and watch a flower blossom or whatever it is. In the sense of knowing your timing, know how many minutes you're going to talk. If your speech is 5 minutes, if you have a 2-minute speech and the objective is use as many slides as possible to get your message across, great. If you're giving a speech on your business, what you do, and you have 2 minutes to give your speech, don't confuse your audience.
Right. Excellent. Next question. How do you make slides less boring?
Huh. Oh, do we?
You want me to go first this time?
Sure, please do.
So one of the ways to make your slides less boring is get rid of the text. We've all sat through those presentations where it's just been line after line of text that's too small. There's 5 different font sizes and font types on the screen, and it makes it difficult to read. Here's the key point, and you've heard us say this before. Your audience can read your slide inside their mind faster than you can speak it out loud. So they're going to read to the end of the slide and then they're going to tune you out. Take all of the stuff that you would normally put on a slide, all the information, the facts, the figures, etc., and put them in the notes or write them out on recipe card notes and present with some note cards in your hand. It's okay to have note cards in your hand. And check them every once in a while with the facts. You can tell your audience, look, I've got my note cards here. I just want to make sure I give you the right numbers. But if you put it all up on a slide like that, it's going to be, people are going to fall asleep. Death by PowerPoint. This is why where the term comes from, death by PowerPoint. So put as little text as possible on the slide. You are there to give the presentation. They're there to hear you. They're not there to watch you read text off of the screen. Because the other thing that happens when we put all that text on the screen, what do? We tend to turn around and read off of the screen instead of facing our audience. And now you've totally disconnected from your audience. So that'll help make your slides less boring.
I'd like to add this very unusual piece of information. When you're creating your presentation, think of your slides last. Don't use your slides to create your presentation. Have your story. So if your story is about a product, a situation, you have a story. And now you want to support that story with visuals. So think about, you create your story with your pen and your book. Once you create that analog, then you go and you create your visuals. When you create your visuals will not tell the story. You will tell the story. Your visuals will be there to assist and aid and support the story. The visuals are there so that your audience can look at something and listen to you, so that they're not reading going, wow, that was a great presentation. Really? No, it wasn't. Somebody has to tell you. All those words up there are not making a great presentation. You are making a great presentation. You are great. Your conversation is what people want to hear. They want to hear your voice. They want to see you. We're on Zoom now, so you're probably not going to turn around. You're going to look at what you're looking at. You're going to read your notes. That's fine. Read your notes. Don't let others read your notes. So create your story analog, support your story with visuals, and then let those visuals assist you in your storytelling. So just like Dr. Energy said, if I grab your slide deck, I have no idea what your story's about. That's a good presentation. That's a good slide deck.
Exactly. So I'm just putting something together here. So
Yep.
it's not working with me here. So keep going.
It's not working with you. All right. So I want to make sure that it's clear that you're consistent. When you do use your images, one is red, one is blue, one is yellow, one is blue and green. Make it easy on the eyes. My camera is autofocusing right now.
Yep.
Make it easy on the eyes. Did I move too fast for you, Logitech? Oh, there we are. I'm back. Let this be an easy transition. When you're having a conversation, you're telling your story, you can modulate your voice. You can use vocal variety. You can speak low to get your audience's attention. You can get close to the mic. You can bring the mic close to you. You could raise your voice, and you can raise your voice closer to the mic. Think about the transition, your audio visuals, and how smooth and easy are they? Because if they become a distraction to your audience, you're going to lose them. If you lose your place, keep going. Have a running story in your head that it's a go-to. When you're presenting, take a deep breath.
Beautiful. So I'm going to share something again. This goes to our next question.
I heard you clicking away.
Yep, that's what I was doing. It wasn't working at first. So you may have heard of something called the rule of thirds. In design, there is a rule called, and in photography and video, this is how you frame something. So you want to take your slide or your camera lens and think of it in thirds. So you can have equal thirds, or you can have them slightly unequal, focus to the middle. The interesting point about this is when you compose a picture or a slide correctly using this grid system or the Fibonacci sequence, which is that big spiral, the eye and the mind naturally know where to look. So if I was going to add a picture to this, I'd want to focus around the nodes where the lines intersect. And those would be the focal points of my slide. So your text would sit across or just on this line or just above or just below, crossing here. A picture could be here. If you wanted the center of the picture to be the focus, you would put this at the center of the picture. Or you could, if the picture is bigger, you could have it span this whole area here. So when you compose a slide, we're using these design concepts that the mind naturally gravitates to. So now you can imagine taking text here and a picture over here, or a picture here, looking with a person looking at the text over here. We're using the idea of the text flowing from left to right, as well as the design concept of the rule of thirds to create our slides.
I just want to let you know that we're looking at 9 squares without any. Yeah.
Okay. Can't see the blue line?
No. We see the blue lines, but when you're saying from here to here, we're not seeing.
Right. See, fail. Live stream fail. So
and I didn't want to interrupt you. I just wanted to
that's
let
okay.
You know.
Good correction. Good catch. So it's same thing. You could have a picture over here, Oh. Having fun today. Okay, so you could have a picture over here with the eyes looking at another object or text over here. And then we're using the same idea of the text flowing or the eye flowing from left to right across the screen, presenting that information in a way. And so now we're using that law along with the rule of thirds together, and it just makes a very easy, cohesive slide for people to look at.
Awesome. Thank you for that visual. I want to talk a little bit. We did talk about show or do the unexpected. I don't think we need to really cover that anymore, but I'd like it to be a point. Show or do the unexpected. When we're surprised, when the unexpected happens, we are fully in the moment and engaged. In classical storytelling, reversals are an important technique. Do the opposite of what the audience expects. Mm-hmm. Their expectations are based on your earlier setup. So you set this up. I'm going to take them from left to right, your left to right. That's what they're expecting. Your surprises do not have to be overly dramatic. Darn. Often the best way is to be more subtle. You could, for example, pose a question. Open up the holes in people's knowledge and then fill the gap with the answers. Errol Gerson says, FNAFI, find a need and fill it. Guide them to the answers. Take people on a journey of discovery. And this journey is filled with little bits of the unexpected. This is what keeps the journey moving forward. So this is show or do the unexpected. We would call this number 9.
Beautiful. So I've got a little joke that we could demonstrate doing the unexpected with.
Let's do it.
Okay. So a priest, a deacon, and a rabbit walk into a bar. The bartender looks over the rabbit. The rabbit says, "What are you looking at me for? I'm just here because of autocorrect."
Ba-dum-bum.
I think it's funny.
You are funny. Emily's
I don't know
funny.
that I'm funny.
You're
I think that joke is funny.
You gave it a good shot. Make them. That leads us right into make them feel. Let's go to number 10.
Yeah.
So we did 9. Show or do that.
Sure.
Number 10. Make them feel. Okay. Storytellers, filmmakers, novelists, etc., comedians, Dr. Energy know that it is emotion which impacts people most profoundly. Yes, facts, events, structure are important, but what people remember is what is more likely to push them to act. It is the way the narrative made them feel. Maya Angelou, people will remember what you say. No, people will forget what you say. Forgive me. They will forget what you do. They will always remember how you make them feel. Main reason why people leave businesses and companies and stop what they're doing. Someone made them feel. They did something to hurt their feelings. So when we're talking about make them feel, Dr. Energy just gave a great example. He wanted you to feel happy. Listen to that joke. Now, whatever you thought about it, he evoked an emotion. And when we evoke an emotion, we're speaking to the audience. He spoke to you. That's a classic, perfect example of number 10. And we did number 11 as well earlier.
Yep, exactly.
You got your numbering all over there? Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers are all over the place. That's
as long as
they're numbered.
Do we have 11 items with be authentic? We want to make sure we have be authentic up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that way we have 11. So thank you for let's go over those real quick. Let's just go over like 1 to 10 in any order. I would like to recite them. Number 1, turn off the computer. Number 2, put the audience first. Number 3, have a solid structure. Number 4, have a clear theme. If the numbers aren't lined up, fine. Number 5, remove the essentials. Number 6, hook them early. Number 7, show a clear conflict. Number 8, demonstrate a clear change. Number 9, show or do the unexpected. Number 10, make them feel like Dr. Energy just did. Number 11, be authentic, just like Dr. Energy did.
Excellent. Yes, Jay, that's the whole point, right? Is you wonder why is the rabbit there with a priest and a deacon in the first place? Right? It's like, what? I don't know what the heck's going on.
Dr. Energy, thank you, Jay, for the engagement. Let's talk about this thank you slide.
Okay, go for it. What would
Do
you
you
like
want
to
to
talk
look?
about?
You want to look while I talk?
Oh, you want me to go find one? Put me on the spot live. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay, we like to do something here at BU Network. We like to say thank you. We like to say thank you to everyone. We like you to know that it's important to us. Everybody can hear me, right? Audio's good. We think it's important when you do a presentation and when we do a presentation to be specific. Not thank you if you have any referrals. Thank you if you know anyone. Not thank you in general. Thank you, BU Network, for allowing me to present today. Thank you, Disney, for allowing us to present to you today. Think big and be specific. So when we're giving you our gratitude, it looks like we went through a little bit of effort. It looks like we created this for you and that it means something to us. And if someone invited us to create that presentation and we thank them, thank you, Dr. Energy, for inviting me today to present at BU Network. We're very grateful. And that slide could have a really big impact if it's done right. Let's give you an example of the right way to do it.
Right.
A right way to do it.
A way of doing it, exactly.
Right, because we have a few different ways of doing it as well. And this is our signature piece. So here it's thank you without anybody's without specifying. So this is a general thank you slide. Everyone should have one in their slide deck. And then you can thank. So we're not going to publicize or promote anyone. So that's why we're using this one.
Correct.
So all of the other the slides that we've made, we don't want to leave anyone out. So we start with this coloring. And let's talk a little bit about the technique and the 2021 on the top right and the logo and the fading on the thank you. You want to talk a little bit about that and the signatures? Why a signature?
Well, it gives a little bit more, the signature gives a little bit more personalization and connection between us and the audience, because that is our, if I was going to give an autograph, if anybody ever wanted my autograph, that's kind of how I would sign it. It's not how I sign stuff professionally or anything like that. And so it just adds that extra layer of connection between you and your audience. They get to see a little bit more of you, and it's an easy way to do it. You can just write it out on a piece of paper, scan it, and then upload it into as a picture. It's really easy to do.
Thank you. And we can definitely work with you on that if you want to know how to put your thank you slide together. Dr. Energy, I feel like a coffee. What about you?
Absolutely. But before we go buy a coffee, we should talk about, just give a big heads up that we just released our most recent podcast. And let me throw that up there.
All right, that's a better order. I like that.
Our new podcast episode that just dropped today was with Emily Milling, the 5 people you meet in, and you'll have to check it out to find out 5 people you meet where.
You're so cagey.
b-u.network/Emily-Milling is where to go and check out that podcast. And, sign up for our newsletter so you get notifications of when we drop a new podcast, and stay in touch and, hear about some of the other stuff that we've got coming up as well.
We have some amazing guests. What a lineup of talent we have.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to wake people up and put them to sleep on purpose.
So you wanted to go have a coffee. So
I want to have a coffee. Okay. Well, I'm really excited we've kicked it up a notch with Buy Me a Coffee, and jump in anytime I'm not being accurate. You can hang out with us on a regular basis, and we're going to use that S word. You can subscribe and hang out with us all the time. Buy Me a Coffee. You want to give some specifics about
Sure.
that?
So buymeacoffee.com/BU network. Now we have added, as Catherine was alluding to, see, there's that rifle on the wall again. See, I came back to it. Just like that rifle on the wall, I'm coming back to the point that Catherine said, there's something, we've launched some new stuff and you can be with us a lot more. So what we did is you could buy us a coffee one time, support us, help us build the channel, that sort of thing. Or you could do a monthly membership at $10 a month, and we're going to be releasing specific content in there for those people only who sign up as members of BU Network. So we're going to be dropping extra content on there. We'll be answering quite more specific questions for you there as well. So if you have issues or ideas that you want to bounce off of us and you want to get us, that's the place to do it. And we'll create some answers for you. So check that
I love
out,
that.
and we'd
I love
love
that.
to see you there.
And I'm thinking, imagine if one of our subscribers has a fantastic presentation that they gave and they want to make it better because it was a success, but they want to kick it up a notch, right? Really just high level it. So if you want to high level it and you want to go into that group with us. If you really want to high level it, then you can
Well,
get us.
we have the other thing over there. It's called an extra, and it's $75, and you'll get us for a one-on-one or a one-on-two session, as the case may be, actually. And
Yes.
we'll go over with you whatever it is that you're bringing to that meeting, and we'll be happy to do that for you.
Yeah, we'll high level it or high level it for you. And thank you to our current clients who are giving us work to do. And we're setting up studios with our clients. We're creating live studios and we're setting up recordings. What we're really into at this moment is we have a big calling for help me set up my studio so that I can record this for my clients. And that's really fun. So thank you to our clients, our BU Network clients who are giving us great work to do and giving us a longer laundry list of accomplishments. We appreciate you and we appreciate you reaching out to us. And yeah, we like doing good work. So great work. Without you, we can't do that.
Exactly. All right. Let's wrap it up and say ciao.
Ciao for now. So if I go to my right, I'm pointing at you, Dr. Energy.
Yes, and if I go this way, see, I got to
Nope.
go the other way. This way.
Yeah, right.
High five.
Okay, wait. How do I do that? Okay, wait.
There you go.
That's cute. That's
All right.
how you do it.
We'll see you on the other side. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Ciao.
Ciao.